What's going on, y'all? Look, it's Marcel Benson, investor, entrepreneur, creative. Look, I got a great video ahead. This is going to put you guys on the track to, at minimum, double your money, right? If you look at my past couple of watch lists, there have been thousands and thousands and thousands of profits, right? Percentages in profits for weekly contracts if you take heed to what's being called, all right? So this week, I got 3 companies that I believe are going to make some serious moves. Now, here's the beautiful thing about understanding how to trade. It doesn't matter the direction. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if we get it to go down, right? People they start panicking when they be like, oh, the market's getting ready to go. And it's like, all right, well, we'll just ride it down. The market's gonna go, all right, we'll just ride it up. So I'm approaching this week with an idea, but also no bias because we did have some rattling information. I'm not gonna say rattling, but it gave false confidence, I would say. So I'll break all of that down in the video, but make sure you stay tuned. But before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. If you're just, seeing my face for the first time, if this video helps you out, definitely hit that subscribe button afterwards or during, however you do it. All right. So the 3 companies that I have for you today, all right, are Merck, right? This is a healthcare company. Then there's also Palantir, PLTR is the ticker, PLTR is the ticker symbol. And then last but not least, we have the SPY, right? SPY is what we call the market, okay? So I'm gonna break these 3 down and show you guys like exactly what I'm seeing. And yeah, I'm gonna give you the whole rundown of like why this is a beautiful play. All right. Also, if you're looking for a trading home, look, we're the best on the planet, right? It's no other group out there like us that's doing it the way we're doing it and getting you guys the gains that you're getting. Check this guy out right here. Shout out to Adam for getting his first 5K. Let's go. All right. So right now we got MRK pulled up on the chart. Okay. Now I'm gonna kind of like zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna make this a little smaller so you can see the full picture, okay? So this happened, right? There should be like a line here. We'll just put it in there, right? This broke out of a falling wedge. This is a falling wedge right here. And Merck broke out of it, right? The first target was that first level, right? That level within the wedge. We were fighting in consolidation for the longest. Let's see, we've been fighting since June to get out this consolidation. Luckily, we positioned ourselves beautifully by getting it months out. So we're already in a swing that is expiring, I think, like the 19th of September. So the goal is to get 100%, right? When we do these long-term swings, we want to get at least 100%. And it looks like we're getting ready to get that this week if we can get this to go to the next target. Now, as you can see right here, there is no resistance until about 90.29, right? That's going to be the first place where it runs into a little bit of problems. But that was a pullback area, so it could still blast through that, right? That wasn't like a true level, right? That was a pullback area. So if it can break through that resistance, then the next target that we have is 96.53. So Merck has a lot of potential. Even if you didn't get in it, I'd be watching for a break to this level, to that 90, and then if it breaks that convincingly, I'll be watching for a break to this target here at 96.53. It will eventually go here, up here, right? But it may not necessarily take place like in the time frame that we're in the trade. But if you're just entering, right, like these breakouts, you could get them out for 3-4 months and be really good. Like these are going to recover for sure. Okay. All right. So that's MRK. Let's go to Palantir now. All right. So I got Palantir pulled up here. And Palantir is one of these, I don't know if you look, right, like they do these blasts off and then they recover and then they make these grinds to the top. Like it's done that right here, it's doing that right here. So it looks like we may get a similar grind up, right? And all right, so this is something I want you to consider too, right? And I'll put this up here in the video. It's called the Fear and Greed Index, right? So we're currently sitting at about 61 on the Fear and Greed Index, which is like, I would say early stage greed, right? So 61 out of 100 means that there's still about, 39 points that it could potentially go if the market just continues to the upside, right? It can continue to go, and we could go like into extreme greed where everybody is just, elated and just buying up the market, and FOMO is setting in and everybody is just spending the money, right? I don't think that we will necessarily get to the top end of extreme greed, just because in reality, people do have less money right now because of inflation, because of so many other factors, joblessness. There's a lot of things that are contributing to the economy that we can't continue to just brush off. So though it is a possibility in theory for it to make it to extreme greed, which means the market would go up significantly more, that to me, that would be best case scenario, right? But what I'm thinking is that we go just a little bit deeper into greed, and then right as we're crossing into extreme greed, it's going to be around the time where the rates are starting to cut. That's in September. September is already historically a, red month. On top of that, like there's, there may be a surprise that's thrown. I know when, the Fed spoke at Jackson Hole this past Friday, they were, optimistic and kind of like really just kind of trying to hold the economy up by having an optimistic approach. But it's like from day to day, we still see the realities, right, of what's taking place with people across the country, like tourism being down. Joblessness starting to, decline in certain sectors, right? There's a lot of different things. The tariffs have made an impact. There's so many different things that have contributed, and that's just this year. We're not talking about the lagging things that have happened, from, the pandemic and, slightly after that. So there's so many things that the economy is dealing with, and at some point things are going to, just come crashing down. But back to Palantir, if we don't necessarily get that immediately, this does have plenty of room. It has about $30-something to go just to go and retest highs. So it made a strong reversal here with this hammer, and it has the potential to go back and retest highs. So that alone, just retesting highs is a $30 move. Again, it could slow grind its way up, or it could shoot up there and blow straight through the high. So I'll be watching this on open range breakout, the orb strategy, like I do every morning. I let the market settle for at least 30 minutes before I take a trade. And I just see like what direction does the stock want to go in. And I just play it in response as opposed to being proactive, right? You want to be proactive about so many other things in life, but not the stock market. And the stock market, you want to react to what's going on. You don't want to try to get in front of what's going on, because that's how you get eaten up. All right, so that's Palantir. And last but not least, we're going to jump right into to SPY, right? The market, right? The S&P. All right. So it's, SPY is sitting right at highs. It's resting right at highs, right? SPY is that make or break. Again, we got optimism from the speech from Jackson Hole, but we could potentially still be coming down. Like me, see, this is how I got my chart drawn up, y'all. I can't get these gaps out my mind. We playing Jenga. I'm going to keep saying that. We're playing Jenga at this point. If we gap up again, right, we really are becoming flimsy. The foundation is getting real shaky, and when it falls, it's going to fall hard. Big tree fall hard. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? It's going to happen. We just cannot time exactly when. So when you're playing SPY, don't put too much weight in it to the upside. Don't blindly do it, and always remember that the foundation is shaky and there is something on the horizon. Now, this could go into, I should have cut my damn phone off. This could go into, November still creeping up. We don't know the exact timeline. But as you are playing calls on SPY, make sure it's intraday. Make sure you're taking profits 10, 15%. I think we're going into a phase in the market where it's not about getting those 100%ers on day trades, maybe swings, but it's not about getting those 100%ers on day trades. It's going to be when you see profit, you need to take it, because it's going to be a lot of games being played because the next move is going to be something that makes so many people rich. And we know that when those opportunities are on the horizon, that's when the market gets tricky, okay? It's always love over here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If it's your first time, hit the subscribe button. I'm sitting here giving you guys inspiration every day, not just in the stock market, right? Not just speaking about the stock market from an intuitive perspective and how it changes you as a person, but I'm also showing you the journey that I'm on in creating music and trying out new things at the age of 36, right? This life is a beautiful one when you let it unfold and you just surrender to the possibilities of what can happen when you just do it, all right? It's always love, man. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We almost at 1,000. We getting there. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.